Hey lovely people, welcome back once again to another episode of Stitches Biz Collection. I'm Miss Stitches. In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make this easy handmade beaded bag. Before we start, make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the bell button. Let's get started. Materials needed. So, you cut your fish line. You make sure it's long enough, then you cut it off. And then we are using 0.35. That's what I'm using now. So you make sure you have equal ends. Then you pick 4 beads, 4 big beads, and then 4 small beads. Okay. So you fix 1 big bead first, and then you fix 1 small bead. Then you go on and fix 1 big bead again, and then fix 1 small bead again. So you fix 1 big bead, 1 small bead till you are done with the beads you pick. Also, you are done fixing all the 4 beads. So after, that's what you should get. If you've arranged it very well, that's what you should get. And then with this bead, with a big bead, you cross with the other fish line. So you cross with the other fish line using the big bead, the last big bead. Then you pull it out. Please make sure you have equal ends of the fish line, so one fish line won't be longer than the other. Then you go on and pick 2 small beads, fix on each side. You fix 1 on each side of the fish line. So you pick 2 beads, fix 1 on the left, fix 1 on the right. Then you go on and pick 2 big beads again, fix 1 on the left, fix 1 on the right. Then you go on and fix 1 small bead on each fish line again. So you fix 1 on the left, fix 1 on the right. So this is what you should get. 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead on each side of the fish line. Then you cross with 1 big bead. So after, you pick 1 big bead and cross with both fish line. You still make sure you have equal sides of the fish line. So this is what you should get. Get our second ring. Then going on, you fix 1 small bead on each fish line, 1 big bead on each fish line, 1 small bead on each fish line again, and then you cross with 1 big bead. So after, you should get your third ring. Then you go on and weave with the same method. So you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead on each side of the fish line. Then you cross with 1 big bead. So you go on and weave till we get the length we want. So with the same method, you're going to continue weaving till you get 9. So you have to get 9 rings. So we have 8 rings now, and then when you get to the 9th one, on this fish line, on the left fish line, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, fix 1 small bead again, then you fix 1 big bead again. then you fix one small bead again. So you need to get 3 small beads and 2 big beads. Then on the right fish line, you fix one small bead on that side. So this is what you should get. Then you fix one big bead again on the left fish line. Okay, so you should get 3 big beads on the left fish line, 3 small beads on the left fish line. And then the small bead should be in the middle of the big beads. Then you tie. So the right fish line should have only 1 small bead. Then you tie. So we tie because we want the work to be tight. Okay, because the fish line we are using is lean, it's small. So you tie it. Then with this fish line, you go through the next bead. So with any side of the fish line, you go through the last bead, as you can see. So we can start weaving the other row. So this is what you should get after you are done. And then on this fish line, still on the left fish line, you fix 3 small beads, 3 big beads, and then the small beads should be in the middle of the big beads. Then on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead on the right fish line. Then with the last big bead on the left, you cross. Okay, so with the last big bead on the left, you cross with that one. So you'll be able to turn to weave. So on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead on the right fish line. Then you go through the next big bead. Go through the next big bead with the right fish line. Go through this bead, as you can see. So there you have it. So you should get 4 on that side, on the middle part. You should get 4 beads, 4 small beads on the middle part. Then on the left fish line, you then fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead, 1 big bead. So 2 small beads, 2 big beads. Then on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead on that side again. So you fix 1 small bead, then you cross with the big bead, with the last bead on the left fish line. So you cross with the last bead on the left fish line. Then you get your second ring. So as you can see, you are weaving towards the last end. So on the right fish line again, you fix 1 small bead. So bear it in mind that now we are adding the small beads in the middle to 4. So if it's not up to 4, you're having a wrong work. Then you go through the next big bead. Go through the next big bead, as you can see. Then the small beads in the middle add up to 4. Then on the left fish line, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead, 1 big bead. So the small bead should always come first before the big beads. Then on the right fish line, again you fix 1 small bead. Then you cross with the last big bead on the left fish line. So you cross with that one. And there we go. Then on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead and go through the next bead. So on the right fish line, after fixing 1 small bead, you go through the next bead. Bear it in mind, we are adding that side up to 4. So if it's not up to 4, as I said, you are doing a wrong work. So there we go, we have it now. And then on the left fish line, you still fix 2 small beads, 2 big beads on the left fish line. Then on the right fish line again, you fix 1 small bead, and then you cross with the last bead on the left fish line. So on this fish line, you fix 1 small bead, and then you go through the next bead. So you go through the next bead, then you continue weaving with the same method so you get to the end. So when you get to the last end, you still have to turn. So on the right fish line now, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead, 1 big bead. You should have, this is what you should have. Then on the left fish line this time, you fix 1 bead. So how it is placed, that's why I'm fixing the beads on my right fish line now. Then you tie it. So the small bead should go on the left now, then you tie it. So after tying, you go through the next bead with any side of the fish line. You go through the next bead, so you'll be able to weave the other step, or the third step, let me say it that way. So this is what you should get. Then on the left fish line now, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead, and then 1 big bead and 1 small bead again. So this time you should end with a small bead on the left fish line. Then on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead on the right fish line, and then you pick another big beads again. Then you cross both sides of the fish line with it. You cross with it. So if you like, you can fix 3 small beads on the left fish line, 3 big beads on the left fish line. So on the right fish line, you fix 1 small bead, and then you go through the next bead. So as I said, have it in mind, anytime you are starting a new step, make sure the small beads in the middle are up to 4. You are adding them up to 4. So if it's not up to 4, then you are doing a wrong work. Then on the left fish line, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead, 1 big bead as usual. Then on the right fish line, you still fix 1 small bead there. Then you cross with the last big bead on the left fish line. So it's the same method you are weaving with. So you go on and weave with the same method. So with the same method, I'm going to weave till you get to this end. So we have it now. Then this is what you should be getting if you're on the right track. This is what you should be getting. Very beautiful work. So I'm going to continue weaving until we get 9 on the other side again. So you get 9 steps on the other side again. So it's 9 is to 9. That's what we want now. Alright, so I'm done. And then we have the same length. So make sure you have 9 on all sides to get a square shape. Yeah, so you pass your fish line through if there's excess. Then I made this offline. It's the same size, the same length, everything. Like it should all be 9, 9. So we are going to weave around it. We are going to join each side. So with a new fish line, 1, 2, like on the second bead, please note on the second bead, that's where I'm going through with my fish line. So you make sure you pull it out and have equal sides of the fish line. So on the left fish line, you fix 1 small bead, 1 big bead, 1 small bead. So with this one, the big bead has to be in the middle of the small beads. Then on the other side of the bag, you still go through the second bead. So the same bead you went through with the other one, that's the same thing you have to go through with this one as well. So if you like, you can start from the third bead if you are okay with that one. Then you fix 1 small bead on each fish line again. So after you've gone through the other side of the bead or of the bag, then you fix 1 small bead on each fish line. Then you cross with 1 big bead. Okay, so you fix 1 small bead on the left fish line, 1 small bead on the right fish line, then you cross both sides with 1 big bead. So please make sure you have the edges of the fish line so one won't be taller than the other. So this is what you should get, as you can see. Then you still go on and fix 1 small bead on each fish line again. So you fix 1 small bead on the right, 1 small bead on the left fish line. We are still adding the small beads up to 4. That's why we need them more when joining both sides. So after, with the right fish line, you go through the next big bead. Go through the big bead, note the big bead. And then with the left fish line, you go through the next big bead as well. So this is what you should be getting. Then you still go on and fix 1 small bead on the left, 1 small bead on the right. Then you cross with 1 big bead. So we are still adding the small beads up to 4. That's why we are using them more now on the side. So this is what you should get. As you can see, we are joining it together. So you still go on and fix 1 small bead on the left fish line, 1 small bead on the right fish line. Then you go through the next big bead. With the right fish line, you go through the next big bead. With the left fish line, you go through the next big bead. After you fixed the small beads, please note, like, watch carefully. It's a little bit like complicated, kakra. You have to watch it carefully. Then this is what you should get. And then you go on and fix 1 small bead on each fish line again. Then you cross with 1 big bead. So you fix 1 small bead on the left, 1 small bead on the right. Then you cross with 1 big bead. And then you fix 1 small bead on each fish line, on the left fish line, on the right fish line. You fix 1 small bead. Then you go through the next big bead. So with the left fish line, you go through the next big bead. Then with the right fish line, you go through the next big bead. Please note, like, a trickish kakra, what I see. So you have to be very careful with it, like, otherwise you won't get it right. Like, any more feel a trickish feel, okay? We'll pay attention to jugba, like, we'll get in onishishin. Because I don't pay attention to jugba. So after you're done, this is what you should get. And then you fix 1 small bead on each fish line again. So this time around there, we are using the small beads more than the big beads. Then you pull it out. Then you fix 1 small bead on each side. Then this is what you should be getting. So as you can see, we are joining it together. Like, after you see your hand, like to be wow. So we are going to continue joining with the same method, okay. So you join it till you get to this end. So if you started from the second bead from the other side, make sure you end from the second bead on the other side as well. So we are done joining it. This is what you should get. This is what you should be getting. So when you get to the last end, you still pick 2 beads, fix one on each fish line, then you cross with 1 big bead. So you cross with 1 big bead, and then if your fish line is short, you can pass it through very well, or you pick 1 bead and then fix on any side of the fish line, and then you tie. So I prefer the tying because that one is secured, okay. So I prefer the tying. So you tie it about 3 or 4 times, then you pass your fish line through. That is if the fish line is short and you can't use it anymore. No, like you need to pass it through. Yeah, so you pass it through. So we are done joining each side. Then this one you should be getting. So I at the end I made it 3, like I started from the 3rd bead. So we are about to make the handle for it, like the same method. So with the new fish line, you go through the small bead, please, the small bead. That's what you go through with the new fish line. So you pull it out. Then please make sure you have equal ends of the fish line, and then you pick 3 small beads, fix one on the left fish line, fix one on the right fish line, then you cross with the 3rd bead. So you cross with the 3rd bead. So this time we are using only the small beads for this time. And then you pull it out. Please make sure you have equal length of the fish line. So this is what you should get. It still gets 4 small beads. Then you pick 2 big beads and then fix one on each side of the fish line. So you fix one on the left fish line, fix one on the right fish line. And then you pick 2 small beads again, fix one on the left fish line, fix one on the right fish line. And then you pick 2 big beads again, fix one on the left, fix one on the right. So you should get 2 big beads, 1 small bead in the middle. Then you pick 1 small bead and cross with both sides of the fish line. So you cross with it. If you pick 1 small bead and cross with it. So that's what you should get. This is what you should get. Then you pick 3 small beads, fix one on the left, fix one on the right, then you cross with the 3rd one. You cross both sides of the fish line with the 3rd one. Then you still add up to 4. So this is what you should get to. And then you go on and then fix 1 small bead in the middle with 2 big beads. So the small bead should be in the middle, and then 2 big beads on each fish line. Then you cross with the small bead. So with this same method, you weave till you get the length of the handle you want. Okay, so you can weave about 5 times if you are okay with the length of the handle. So I have the length now. I have the length, like this is how I want it. So if it's not long enough, you can still add more to it. So you are going to join it to the other side. So you pick 2 small beads, fix one on the left, fix one on the right, and then you cross with the small bead on the other side. Okay, so you fix 1 small bead on the left fish line, fix 1 small bead on the right fish line, then you cross both sides, or you go through the small bead on the other end with both fish line, as you can see I'm doing. Then you pull it out very well. Please pull it out very well so it will be tight. Then you pass the fish line through everything. You make sure you pass it through everything, and then we are done with our bag. So this is so simple and easy to do. So you can fix in this sack bag, that is if you don't like how transparent it is, so you can fix the sack bag, or you leave it this way and you're good to go. You can take it to your weddings, like any occasion you want. If you want to see more of my tutorials, please give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you comment and share as well. Follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell button so you'll be notified anytime I upload a video. Thank you. See you in my next video. Have a nice day and bye.